Alright fellas, here we go. There we go. The SS is gonna get a drop. Right now we're sitting at about 32 inches is what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put the belltech drop shocks. That's your part number. Paper says that if you want to do 2-inch lowering, you don't put none of the rings. No rings. If you want to go with the 1.5-inch lowering, you put the 8mm ring. 1 inch, you put one of the 16 millimeters, and so on and so forth. We're gonna go bare on it. We're not gonna put no rings. See how low it goes. If it's too low, then I'll just yank the bitch out and fucking put it back and add a ring or something to it. Because I did the other side, it didn't lower so much. It only lowered the other side about 1 inch and some change. I don't know what the deal is with that, but whatever. Here's the rings. Of course, if you want 1 inch drop, you're gonna put that one. If you want 1/2 inch, you're gonna put that one. And if you want the 2-inch, you don't put shit. Here we go. Tools you're gonna need: 15, 19 screwdriver. This is a 19 extension. Maybe one of these. It comes in handy. 15, a short 15, short 19. Hammer. You're gonna measure right now. We're gonna do some measurements. The tape, jack stand, jack. Let's do this. Alright, so this is where we're sitting at. 32.5. The other side I didn't put no rings and it brought me down 1 inch. I'm gonna just do the same right here. If it, like I said, if it's too low, too much lower than the other side, then I'll just I'll pop it back out and fucking add a ring to it. But in the meantime, we're gonna go bare, no rings. That's what it is. Whenever you measure this, you want to measure straight from the wheel all the way up. You don't want to be up, you don't want to be down, you don't want the tape measure to be bending or nothing. That's where we're at. Oops. We're at 32.5. Start with the wheels. Well, loosen up your wheels, put up your jack stand, and pull the wheel off. Just put your wheel behind you, out of the way. Alright, first things first. These are the parts we're taking off. We're going to loosen this to take it off. We're going to loosen that bracket, that bolt I mean. And we're going to loosen this one. This one is a 15. This is another 15. This one's a 19. And then you got to take off these 2 bolts. There's one here and one on that side. But let's do this first. So first things first, jack up your control arms. Trust me, this is going to be way easier than what other people have been doing. We're going to do it like this. Alright. This is a 15. There's a bottom bolt down here. That's a 15. Here's your socket wrench. I don't have a fucking tripod or nothing, so just understand what I'm doing. So I put pressure on it. It's getting held up with the jack stand just enough to make it go up a little. Put some pressure on this ball joint. And we're going to take this one off first. Then we're going to take this one off. Then we're going to take this one off once we could find how to support it right now. Got you guys, watch this. All right, there it is. What you want to do, you want to put it back together. Don't lose nothing. Don't lose no washers. Don't lose any of that. As soon as you... Oh shit, I probably lost that one. But, that shit goes like that. It goes inside, whatever, you know what I mean? From the bottom. And there it is. Next one we're going to do is this one. We're going to take off this one. Use a socket on this side and a 19 open-ended wrench on this side. It is removed. Put it right there, along with all your other stuff. That fucking tire. Fuck. Don't lose your bolts. While they're sitting and laying around, go and throw some WD-40 on them, clean them up, do what you got to do with them. Because 9 times out of 10, you might have to remove them one day. The next one is this one. Before you take this one off, let's take this part off. The screwdriver. This is either your speed sensor or something, or your brake. It's a speed sensor. Let's move it to the side somewhere. Move it to the side. And then grab anything you have laying around, rope, wire, whatever you have, just wrap it around here, and tie it up to this A-arm somehow or something, so that way it just doesn't hang. So, because it's gonna fall out this way towards you. So let me find some. There it is. The 15 is out. Socket wrench. Throw them over there. All right, this one. I tied it up. This is how I do it. I just tied it up right there. It should hold. What you want to do is not put so much stress on this brake line. Some people unbolt this. I recommend doing it, sorta. If you want, whatever. I'm gonna just leave it. You know what? I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna take that off. It's a 10 mil on this side, another 10 on this side. It's just to move the brake thing out of the way. Let's do it. As we loosened them, I'll put the bolts back. Don't lose your bolts. And don't forget to put that back. Alright. This is how I do it. Don't talk shit. This is just how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. This is what I do. And if you talk shit, well, fuck. I'm just gonna fucking talk shit back anyways. So, I leave my bolts connected to it to serve as leverage to pull that down, because as soon as I lower this, all the weight from the spring or whatever and everything is going to go up. It's going to stay where it's at, and the lower control arm is going to lower down. So with a bang or whatever, it should come off. In the meantime, I'm going to knock this up, so this is going to hang down, and then after that we lower that to bring the strut out of the strut, whatever the fuck that's called, that knuckle that's right there. Here we go. Alright, we give this shit a bang. There it is. It's out the way. And we're gonna lower it. Remember, my jack's right under my control arm. There it is. One bang. Should be good. Now we loosen it. we loosen it from up here. It didn't fucking knock it off yet. Well, it did a little bit. Came off the thing. So as soon as we loosen it, we start messing with it. We probably have to push down more. We probably have to push down more, or fucking try to push it up. All right, from the top, we get those. From the top, we're gonna get them. They're just in here. It's a 15, and a 15. You can use extensions, and it'll come right out. All right, apologies. That's they're both 19s. These are both 19s. Let me break them loose. All right, those bolts are off. They're off. There they are. Put them away. So now the goal is to try to get this out. So you can do two things. Either push this down more and pry this up a little bit just to break it 100% free, and then you can pull it out, or smack it from the bottom up. No matter what, look at that, it's out, it's loose. You can get it out. It's just trying to wiggle it out. So do what you can to get it out, whether it's push this down and pull this up, or whatever. Get it some help, or do what you got to do. All right, simplest way. Nothing under it. You push down. Make sure that these bolts are still in the. Make sure these bolts are still in the holes. See that? And just push down. At the same time, bang it up. There you go. It's out. One thing you want to do is keep in mind how it came out. So you see how it's thicker on this side with that gasket, that plastic thing, and it's thinner over here. That's the same way you want it to go in. You do it any other way, it's probably not gonna. Matter of fact, that's probably what my problem is on the other side. Now that I notice it, but I have to go back and check it. So in order to remove this, get some pliers or a crescent wrench or something, whatever you got. Hold that and then unbolt this nut. This one's a 15 millimeter. It's way easier if somebody helps you. So once you get to the very top, you don't need the thing to hold it. It'll just come out. It's not compressed. The spring's not loaded. Ooh, yes it is. Nah, it's little. All right. So just remember your order. See that? You won't need this one, but you need this, the seat. Everything else pops off. I need both hands for this, so yeah. Everything else is just gonna come off. So basically all you're gonna need, I'm gonna show you guys right now a little bit. Flip it upside down, give it a whacking. And there it is. Yeah, buddy. This one, you're gonna wanna cut all the way to where that is. We're gonna reuse it, but you don't wanna use this spacer right here. Everything else that's in it is reusable and should be used. There's a boot. There's the other plate and that. And here we are. Let me go grab the other one. Board. Now I just put this little top plate on there. Bam. And you find your nut. Put the nut on there. Alright. So you need an Allen wrench or torque set or whatever the fuck they're called. Let me see if I can figure out what number I'm gonna use. and then I'll give it back to you guys. But you already know this one's a 15, so you use a 15 and that just to hold it. All right, I'm just gonna use this bad boy, and then this torque set one is T40. T40 worked on it. So all you do is tighten it down and ready to install. All right, old one, new one. I think this one was already in aftermarket, but that's the old one. There's a new one. Usually there's a little gasket type thing so it don't make noise. This one don't have it. If I have to take it back out, I'll do it. I'll put something right there. Probably some of that material you use for like the roofing. If I can't find it at the store or something, I'll just use that. As long as it don't squeak. Hopefully it doesn't squeak. So now it goes back in. Same way we pulled it out. Put it up into the holes. Put it up into the holes. Make sure it's lined up. Now back here, right here. Okay, let me swap it for you guys. Okay, here's the hat. So the hat stops there. This is the way the spring went in. So okay, remember that's how we had it earlier. I told you, remember, that's the skinny side, the thicker ones over here, and we'll put it just exactly how it was. You can remember by the sticker. The hat, you see it? I don't know if you see, but look, it's like a stop. It's a stop for the coil spring. Whenever you put this back in, make sure it's all the way bottomed out, so when we lift this up, it's all the way in there. See that? Now, like I said, some people do this different. I do it my way. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna continue to do it my way. Basically, all I'm gonna do is put this on right now, loose, leave it loose, jack up the bottom, make that go in, and then leave that in there, and then we're gonna adjust this as soon as we jack it up, so that way the ball joint could go in there. All right, there that is. That's hand tight. There's that. This one where it's supposed to be. I just need to tighten everything up. Well, not tighten it up, but get everything back into place. Make sure that's in place. Make sure your studs are coming out the holes, because you don't want it to go into place, to the bottom out onto your plate there. And then jack it up as much as you can. Bang it out if you can from the bottom to make the strut go into there. That's your whole goal right now, is to get that strut into that, and that ball joint is probably easier. It's not even in yet. It's just sitting in there. All right, so I don't know if you guys seen, but right now before I did it, the knuckle was sticking out this way. All I did was bang it in, and it automatically fell into place. There, that's how it's gonna be. Put this one where it needs to be. Jack it up. We jack it up, make sure this one's all the way in, and then we'll hit this top ball joint. There it is. You want to put pressure on the strut, so that way you know that this knuckle is all the way in. Feel the bottom. When you feel the bottom, you're gonna feel the strut. Give it a whack going up one time from the bottom up, just to make sure, and then put your bolt in and tighten it up. Put this bolt in. tighten it up. I believe that one was a 19, so use your short fat 19 or your longer one, I don't care. Use that, tighten it up. What's up? 50 millimeter. Tighten this one up. The bolts under it. On these, I recommend grabbing some yellow marker before you even start and mark it to where you're gonna tighten this, because you could over tighten it or you could under tighten them and it's gonna be off. Well, of course the alignment shop is probably gonna fix it, but at least so you know you're sort of on the money, because it still has plenty more thread that I could go, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Okay, next thing you do, my ball joint. The stud should be sticking out just a little bit off the top. Give it one good banging after that or something, and then put that bolt in. Tighten that one as hard as you can. That one's 15 millimeter. You should have it over there. Last thing you want to do, put your brakes back on. Remember, you left your bolts on there. Don't be looking for them. Slap your lightings back in. Just snap them back in, and then make sure you take off your string or whatever you use to hold it. If you still have pressure, you should still have pressure, get up in there, tighten up those two bolts, one on that side, one on that side, 19 mils with the socket extension, and then throw the wheels on. We're ready to see. So I'll get you guys back on here when I got the wheels on so we can measure. What a fucking trip. This shit went down exactly how I needed it to. Okay, let's take a look at what the fuck is going on over here, because now I'm kind of mad, because this side went in and dropped perfectly. This side, oh, it don't look too bad now. Maybe because the other side was raised, it was throwing it off. Huh. But you can see the camber on it. See that? So this truck is not ready to be aligned yet. You got to still put the what is it? The DJM tubular arms, the upper ones, because you can see it sticking out. See that? That ain't cool. That's premature tire wear. Fucking your ball joint will fucking go out. There's a lot of shit, so I can't even fuck around in this one until I do that. But it's cool. Let me know what you guys think. There it is. It is dusty. Yeah. Let me measure real fast. So this side was measuring 32. When I first started, it was measuring 33, so it brought it down exactly to 2 inches. This side was 2.5. I mean 32.5, and it still only brought it down the 1.5 inches that I needed. So we're still there. Shit, that was cool. That was better than risking it and putting only one shim on there or whatever. So if I would have put that shim, I would have been off. I would have had to take all that shit apart and do it. So good thing I just ran it and said fuck it, I'd rather roll the dice. So rolled the dice, won, we good. tbss lower, 2007. You could do them to all of them. Make sure you get that upper control arm. Don't fucking run it without it. Well, you could run it for a little bit, but good luck. There it is. Tying up your lug nuts. You're ready to roll.